I think this video will serve as good news for founders, builders, artists, and creatives in general. Especially if you're at the stage in your career where you're trying to put yourself out there unapologetically. Because that's the stage where I'm at right now. Right? So lately I did a lot of digging, a lot of research, a lot of studying. Not lately, like I've been doing that for a while now. I think close to 4 months. I've been studying the grades. Also, how determined to study some pieces of literature. Just know how people before me have done it. And the good news is that there are no rules. When it comes to showing your work, putting yourself out there are no rules. That's the good news. There are only three things that matter. And the first one is identity. Identity for every creative person will be your branding. And for businesses, that will be your branding too. Like you have to first find out who you are, what you stand for, what makes you different from the head, what makes you different from the crowd, right? I think that's the hardest part, and it takes a while to build. For artists, is like reading your creative style over the time, understanding what you stand for. Like, for instance, I use myself as an example. Global sustainability is at the core of my message. You're a founder, what you have to offer, and what space do you like really shine? You're a builder, the reason behind why you build it, the drive behind what you're building. I think that's the first thing that every one of us has to like get hold of. That is what's going to define our purpose. And purpose is like the second key thing that matters. And I think for builders, that would be a value proposition. For artists, it's going to be, yes, what do you stand for? Yes, global sustainability is not the core of my message. But what's my purpose after using global sustainability as a theme and message? What do I plan to reach? What societal issues do I plan to address? For builders, what value am I giving out that is going to that will push people to want to say, okay, I support this with my cash. I want to pay for this. For creatives, what value proposition I present out there that will make people want to say, okay, let me follow this person. This person is actually trying to make a lot of sense. Right? That's the second thing that matters. First, you get your identity, and your identity, without that identity, you can't define the purpose. So you get the identity, and now you've defined your purpose. So after defining your purpose, your value proposition, in order for a message to be heard, we have to have an audience. There has to be an audience there to want to receive the message, right? So, but how do you get to reach this audience? I think that's the question that most of us have at this point. At this level of my career, that's what got into how do I get ahead. After I'm been able to find my brand, I've been able to find my identity. My purpose is becoming louder and clear, right? But how do I get ahead? How do I reach my audience? And that's what pushed me to make a lot of research. That's what has pushed me to, study the common of the literatures and still studying some. And there are no rules, but there's the third key thing that's important. The third key thing that's important, I think, is the most key one. The first two are easy to like tackle, but this third one is also easy to tackle. Or starting out, there's a bit of confusion within oneself. Like for me, there was a bit of confusion. Like I'll just throw a bit of example. So I sat with myself Sunday, and I was like, okay, let's say at the end of the day, I don't get any kind of representation, right? But how am I supposed to get my message out there to my audience? These are ideas that I had in my head, were ideas that didn't revolve around my resources. So I had to like dig down to below for ideas that revolve around my resources. So I found out that all matters is the resources at your disposal at this present time, right? Whatever you're doing, resources at your disposal. Like for me, business resources at my disposal. And more resources at everyone's disposal right now is social media. To do good work isn't enough, right? We need an audience that's going to take release good work that we've done. Social media is a tool right now, right? That we're supposed to use to show and share our work. And for us to use social media effectively, I'll make reference to a line in Austin Kleon's book, Show Your Work. That's the part I think is in the second chapter where it talked about a tool. Now, social media is a tool and how to use a new tool. So the first thing we would have to know is what was this tool made for? And after we've been able to understand better what the tool is made for, the next thing we'd have to tackle is how are people using it? How about that creators using it? Now at this part we have to see like an artist copy other people, but not copy per se, or copy the core, not the main subject or the body. We just need the core. Just like propagating the plant, it's not like we are rooting everything, taking anything from the roots. Just take somewhere from the stem and try to replant and bring something new out of that. So by the time you understand this too, and you understand how people are using it, how is this tool now going to serve you? How is it tool going to serve you? I know now, if you watch out what other people are using, that does not mean that this people that are using it in a certain way have created a rule for how it should be used, though. There are no rules. There are no rules. It's just for you to figure out how this tool is going to serve you. How you can use this tool for your own growth. Crazy thing is that as someone with an original idea, you think that every other thing that follows suit has to be so original. And yes, I like the idea of original ideas. You created the properties, your original idea. Right? You have an identity, it's your original identity. That's already enough. All right. So we can go on to steal from other people that are creating, but we are not stealing the full work. We're not operating their full strategy. We are getting our own strategy, just stealing from their core, while retaining the core of our message and creating a new strategy as to how this tool is used. So if you're trying to build stuff, and if you build stuff and you're trying to put yourself out there, put your work out there, just have good news for you still that there are no rules. Fine. Understand the tool. Understand how other people use it is, and find a way for it to serve your cause. Having that said, I'll get back to basic, and I wish you blobs in your journey. And peace, and I'll see you in the next video, of course.
Right.